You're listening to 88.9 FM, The Cage. I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
This is The Voice of the People, a show that happens every Wednesday afternoon, starting at noon. We're going to get started here. We only talk about things that are important to you. We play some cool music, have some fun. Isn't that right, Youngblood?
That's right. And I have to say it's one of the most popular shows this semester.
Yeah? Who have you been talking to? Where does this statistic come from?
That's the word on the street.
Yeah, the Voice of the People is saying that the Voice of the People is the best radio show.
It's the buzz, the skittle fit, hippity hop.
Cat's pajamas.
Yep, the cat's pajamas, 411. That's what the kids are saying on the old Snow College campus.
Right on, right on. I'm glad people enjoy the show. We love listener involvement, so at any time throughout the show, feel free to give us a call if you want to comment on what we're talking about, or if you just want to request a song, you can do that too. Give us a call at 435-283-7007. Or if calling ain't your thing, that's all right. We have a texting service. You can text KAGE to 66746 and just let us know what you want to say.
Sir Liam, I have some news.
Yeah, what's that?
Last week we discussed the phenomenon of Tinder.
Yes,
and,
we did.
After receiving a couple more matches, I think a day or two after the show, I did end up deleting my account.
Oh, no. Even after getting those matches?
Yeah. Just, I don't know. Just wasn't into it.
That's fair. What was like the turning point for you?
After discussing on the air and just kind of analyzing it and talking more about it, even after I got those matches, it just seemed like a waste of time and felt like a useless way of meeting people. Like, I like meeting people face-to-face versus, via the internet. So
that's a newfangled invention of the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's all right. That's all right.
So, anyway, just want to give you and our listeners an update on that.
Well. Looks like all the desperate ladies of Snow College won't be seeing fair Youngblood on the Tinder app anymore. They'll have to do it in real life. That's a real shame.
Although, I will say, awkward moment. I was in the library a couple days ago, and there I am sitting at the computer in the basement, and lo and behold, one of the people I matched with on Tinder walks by me.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know if she knew it was me, but I definitely knew it was her. And it was, it's kind of that moment where your heart falls into your stomach, kind of like that butterfly thing.
Did you talk to her?
No, I was doing my homework, and she was she was far away. She wasn't close.
Come on.
Yeah,
was she as beautiful in real life as she was on Tinder?
Yeah, she was good looking. All
right, man.
But we never discussed that. What if you actually meet up with, you actually pass that person, because it is such a small campus, you actually see them?
Then you already have something to talk about. Be like, hey, didn't I match you on Tinder? Then they're like, oh, yeah. I bet that would work even with girls that you didn't match. You just walk up to a stranger and be like, hey, I think we matched on Tinder. And they're like, oh, yeah, because they want to be polite, right?
Right.
There's your hand. Even if you don't even have a Tinder, you can still rely on it.
You just heard it right. The Voice of the People, best of the pickup line. Sir Liam, how was your week?
My week was good. Not a lot happened. Not a lot.
I'm starting to see a reoccurring trend every time we ask you this question.
I say not a lot happened.
Not a lot happened, just nothing happened.
Why do you think that is, Youngblood?
Well,
you know what it is? It's because we don't have a Taco Bell.
Speaking of which, they have still not emailed me back.
Oh, that's okay.
You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to write another email.
Should write a handwritten letter, send it to Taco Bell headquarters with all sealed and professional. Then they have to read it, right?
Right. Maybe I'll mark as important.
Very urgent. Please open.
Fragile,
Fragile, yeah. But yeah, I never do anything now.
Is that right?
Yeah, mostly because it's the dead of winter in Ephraim, and there's nothing to do. I I am looking forward to spring break, though.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for spring break.
Yeah.
I'm going to St. George.
Oh, that's right. You talked about that.
Yep.
Lots of fun stuff to be had down there.
What do you got going?
I am gonna probably just hang out with Brittany.
In the woods of Twilla?
I guess. And
okay, good. Good
know
to
what?
know.
We already know that I didn't do anything. What did you do besides delete your Tinder account?
Decided to delete my Tinder account. You know, last night I went with some friends. We drove to Payson, and we went and saw A Dog's Purpose.
Last night?
Last night.
Didn't you already see that movie with like your family?
Yeah, I did, but I had some friends that hadn't seen it, and I talked it up pretty good, and they wanted to go, so I was like, why not?
Was it just as good the second time?
It was. You know, I didn't think it'd give me the tearjerker. I'd be much of a tearjerker the second time, but
Right.
got me.
It got you.
The second time, maybe even a little bit more this time.
Did you think I would like that movie?
I don't know, how much do you like dogs?
They're nice. They're okay.
Do you feel like a connection with them?
I don't feel like they're people.
Okay, I don't see you getting very emotional during this movie. You know, if you didn't like Marley and Me, I don't know if this is really your
Yeah,
kind of movie.
I just found no point in Marley and Me. Besides Owen Wilson screaming Marley for like an hour and a half. And that's supposed to be entertaining, I guess.
You know, when the dog dies, did you didn't even shed a tear on that part?
No.
You probably left the living room.
Yeah,
at that
I
point.
got bored and left before the dog died.
You know, it's a good feel-good family story, and you kill it.
Oh, it's whatever. People like it. You know what I did get excited for, movie-wise?
What?
In May, they're releasing a new Alien film, directed by Ridley Scott, who directed the first two Alien films. And the first Alien is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. My favorite horror movie, bar none. And they released a trailer recently.
This is the third one?
No. You see, and this is very convoluted. Ridley Scott directed Alien and the sequel Aliens. Those came out in like the 80s.
Okay.
And then they had some other guys work on the franchise. You had Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. And then they didn't do anything with the franchise for a while. And then a couple years ago, in like 2013, 2014, I can't remember, Prometheus came out, which is supposed to function as a sort of prequel to the Alien series. And that had mixed reviews. Some people really liked it, some people didn't. But anyway, they're coming out with a proper Alien film now, and I'm pretty excited. It looks pretty dope.
Wow. Okay. You heard it right here on the Voice of the People. There is a new Alien movie coming out.
I mean, if you've been on the internet, you could probably figure that out. But I'm excited. I really like the Alien franchise. I hope they do a good job with this one. I'm excited for it.
Good. Well, I don't know how many views it'll get, because at the same time Beauty and the Beast is coming out. So.
Is that coming out in May as well?
Oh no, wait. Beauty and the Beast comes out in March, doesn't it?
I think it does. I've actually seen a couple bits from it. It doesn't look bad.
Okay.
I'll say that much.
Okay.
I hate musicals. I hate them.
You already talking about Beauty and the Beast now, or Alien?
No, we're talking about Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Alien is not a musical.
Well, I know. I figured that.
It'd be great if it was, though. I might enjoy it. But kind of as a general rule, I don't like musicals. However, Disney movies are kind of an exception. Because it's all animated and kind of magical, it's okay that they're singing songs for no reason, right?
Right.
And at least the songs are always very well written and catchy and clever and charming, as Disney does. And so seeing just the bits in trailers and scenes that they've released in live action, it's kind of freaks me out. Seeing it all like brought to life like that. Have you seen anything
I
in
have.
the movie?
Yeah. I know this movie very well, and I've seen the trailers. So.
Are you excited for it? Are you gonna?
I
see
mean,
it?
it's whatever. I like Disney.
Yeah,
but
me too.
It's just Beauty and the Beast, but live. Like I know people are freaking out about it, but it'll be good. I'll see it, but I'm not like super hyped about it.
The question is, how much are they going to change? You know what I mean?
From what I've seen from the commercial, it looks pretty spot on.
It looks pretty like an exact remake of the
original
animated version. And this is kind of what I'm worried about. Is are they just gonna make, the original Beauty and the Beast live action? Because to me, there's not like a lot of creative value in that. They're not really. If you're not gonna change the script, if you're not gonna change the cinematography or the art design, really, like,
right?
Well, what are you doing? It's just kind of a rehash. But by the same token, I can see where they go too far with that idea and make it something completely different, and people would get upset. But like you mentioned, as we've already said, seems like they're staying pretty true to the source material. And so I'm just curious how much they are willing to change it around for the sake of a new movie and not just a rehash.
Have you ever thought about being a movie critic?
I have, actually.
You would do really good at that.
Oh, thanks. I'm a very I have a critical personality in general, and I'm passionate about films. So
yeah,
it's easy for me to critique movies in that sense.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
All my friends hate watching movies with me because I'm not afraid to point out what's bad about them. Brittany doesn't show me any of her movies anymore because she thinks that I'll hate them all.
Well, she's probably right. So.
Yeah, well, sometimes. She likes good movies, though. Anyway.
Certainly am our guest for today on our topic. Has class at 12:45, so he needs to come in before then.
All right, no problem. Tell you what, how about we introduce our topic real quick? We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have our guest on.
Okay.
Right on. So, today on The Voice of the People, for the next about hour and a half, we'll be talking about roommates. I feel like we've brushed on the subject, throughout various episodes of The Voice of the People, but we haven't dedicated an entire episode to roommates, which is curious because it's such a big part of college life that people have to get used to.
Yes. I feel like roommates can almost make or break your experience, and it's very important that we as college students, connect with one another on this subject.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure many of you out there have strong opinions on the subject. We're going to be getting into some topics specifically about what roommates do that we maybe not like, horror stories as far as roommates go. We'll be discussing a lot today. But as always, if you want to say something, feel free to give us a call, 435-283-7007, and share your opinion, or text KAGE to the number 66746. You can also use those avenues to request a song. We'll be playing some music for you, and we'll probably play some for you right now when we get our next guest on the air here.
That's right. Right after the break, we will have guest Colten Yager to discuss his roommate situation. You're listening to The Voice of the People.
Here on 88.9 FM, The Cage. And we're back here on The Voice of the People on 88.9 FM, The Cage. I'm Surly M.
And I'm Youngblood.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're talking about roommates.
That's right. Can either be the best or the worst thing that ever happened to you.
Most often the latter case, though, I've found.
The worst thing?
Yeah.
We were supposed to have guest Colten Yager on right now, but we're having some scheduling issues, so hopefully he'll be on later in the show.
Yeah. We'll still try and get his opinion out to you, regardless. But that's all right. We have plenty to talk about, don't we?
We do.
Awesome.
We do.
So what made you, why is this topic of roommates relevant?
Okay, so kind of talking about it, something that all college students have to endure in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And it is something that has impacted me greatly here in my 2 years at Snow College, for good and for bad.
Good and for bad. Very well. Yeah, it's interesting because most often this is people's first experience living in close proximity to other people and kind of sharing personal spaces, right? And that's kind of a revelatory experience. You learn a lot about yourself when you're forced to share personal space with other people.
Yes, you do. And for a lot of people, this is their first time out on their own, trying to adjust to that. For those who don't know, Surly M and I are roommates. We actually share a room.
Bunkmates. Yeah,
together.
we have the good fortune to live together over the past semester and this semester, and it's been a riot.
Yeah, that's been good.
Yeah. It's been really good.
Now, on the other hand, we share the apartment with two other guys.
Which is fortunate, considering that in some places you have to share with 6 or maybe 8 people
Very true.
per apartment.
Very true.
So I think we're fortunate in the sense we only have four to a place.
However, it's close quarters in there.
It is.
The kitchen's small. 1 bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time the landlords walked in there and said, "Hey, we might need to remodel."
Yeah, it's kind of has older appliances, older furniture. But yeah, it's
what's up with the
it's cozy.
What's up with the baseboard? It's like peeling. Have you ever noticed that? All the baseboards are peeling off.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially in the bathroom. It's a rough situation.
Maybe it's just our place.
Yeah, okay, that's another thing. So I've been to the other apartments in our complex, and they're all very, very nice. Good appliances, good tiling in the bathroom, and then you walk in our place, and it's like the Twilight Zone in there. So,
we are kind of shoved down in the corner there.
Yeah, bottom right. But
maybe
I just got a message from old Colten. Wants us to call him right now.
Right now, you say?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. You do that, and I'll entertain our listeners here for a second. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is. But we aren't talking about apartments today. We're talking about roommates. And as Youngblood was mentioning a little bit earlier, we we share with 2 other people, which is fine, right? That's fine. Having 1 bathroom, that's not a big deal. However, where the real roll of the dice comes in is who those 2 individuals are, right? And there are many personality types, and not all of them mesh well together. And that's where the exciting random factor of having roommates kind of comes into play. And it's a reason that a lot of people don't like the idea of having roommates, is because you just don't know what you're going to get. It's like, as the Forrest Gump taught us, it's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. Sounds like we're almost ready to have our guest on. I'll tell you what. This next guest, Mr. Colten Yager, is a good friend of my own, as well as Mr. Youngblood's. We met him, oh god, it's been over a year now since we met old Colten.
All right, I got him. Here, you ready?
Oh, awesome.
All right, for those who are on the air with us right now, we have guest Colten Yager, Kansas native, currently attending BYU, Idaho, calling us all the way from Rexburg. How are you, Colten?
Oh, doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome.
Doing awesome?
Doing awesome. We're happy to have you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, what's the temperature right now in Rexburg?
Well, it's pretty chilly. It's probably 20 degrees right now, and
Oh god.
it'll grow some hair on your chest if you're not careful.
Great.
Awesome. Well, we brought on Colten today to talk a little bit about roommates, and so Colten, what's been your general experience so far in dealing with roommates?
Say that again. I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
What's been your experience dealing with roommates, Colten?
No, dealing with roommates. You know, I try to just keep things light. You know, it's kind of interesting when you get new roommates and you're always wondering who's gonna fart first. You know? And I always try to be that guy, just to make the ice and just so we have a good time. You know.
You know why does that not surprise me?
Probably because you're my companion for 3 months.
Oh, yes. Surly M and I know Colten from California, serving our LDS missions. But, Colten, do you have any bad roommates this semester?
Any bad roommates? You know, they're all pretty good. I hate talking bad about people. You know, you have your typical roommate that's just always home, and you try to bring a girl over and you try to watch a movie and get all romantic, and he's just sitting there just watching you. You always got that roommate.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, we got one of those.
I'm curious what you guys think I should do to help you out in that situation.
I think the best thing someone can do in that situation is, like you said, just be straight up and be like, hey man, think you could afford us a little privacy here? And most cases people are understanding. Be like, yeah. You're trying to score here.
Like, man, come on, I'm trying to make a move here. You're killing it.
You just say, guy, get off the couch.
Get off the couch and go in your room.
Right, there we go. Okay, can you, do you have some experiences about these bad roommates you'd like to share with us?
Any experiences? Well, we try to go hard here at BYU, Idaho. We were playing soda pong the other night.
Right.
And got a little rowdy.
Okay.
Before you know it, there's pop everywhere.
Oh, jeez.
And, I just hate getting my socks all sticky and everything, but we have a good time. We really do.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And so, would you say that you enjoy having roommates?
Yeah, I say I enjoy them. We have a good time.
How many do you have, Colten?
I've got 5.
Oh, okay. Well, so there's 6, including you, in the apartment.
Yeah, it's enjoyable though, because you can kind of get away from them and then kind of come back and kind of tell each other how your day went. And, give each other a hard time, of course. So.
Of course. Hey, this is a little bit off topic from what we were talking about, but how's the lady situation down there, Colten?
Oh, well, can I just say, in Kansas, it's like a shriveled up pond. referring to women as fish.
Okay.
Okay.
And here, I feel like I'm fishing in the Atlantic Ocean.
Whoa.
There's lots of beautiful, colorful fish around, and myself, I love going country dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So I especially like the country ladies here. There's plenty to pick from.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to our good friend Colten as he endeavors to find a permanent roommate.
That's right.
You're breaking up a little bit again.
We thank you for coming on the show, Colten, as you try and find that permanent roommate.
Let's say it again. It's breaking like every third word.
We just want to thank you for coming on.
Oh, sorry, guys. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, you guys are the best. I wish I could get everyone in the country listening to you.
That's right. You spread the word down there in Rexburg.
I'm your number 1 fan. All the way up here in Rexburg.
Ooh, there you go.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you for your time, Colten.
Okay, we'll see you.
All right, see you around.
Bye.
Awesome. Voice of the people crossing state lines there. Our good friend Colten Yager attending BYU, Idaho.
Reception was a little bad.
Yeah, that's to be expected. But he had some interesting things to say. Sounds like he's having just a grand old time with his roommates down there.
Yeah, he is. I didn't know what his experience would be like, but it sounds like he's having a good experience. Although, knowing him, even if he had the crappiest roommate in the world, I think he'd still say great
Yeah,
things.
he's an optimistic guy. He's really nice.
Yeah. So, but, I thought it was interesting. He comes from Podunk, nowhere, Kansas,
Yeah.
where the field's shriveled up and dry, and then you're just immersed with all these college women.
But they're BYU women. You have to understand. Not nearly the caliber of Snow College's fair young ladies.
That's very true. That's very true.
So, would you say his experience with roommates is common or less common?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say it's less common.
I agree with you. I think Colten is having a very fortunate time in the fact that he gets roommates that it seems like he has fun with. Like, they're just playing, soda pong in their apartment. We've never done that with our roommates ever.
No, we haven't.
We've played board games to an ungodly extent. But,
until somebody cries.
Yep.
Like, certainly am.
I never cry over board games. I just
He won't
yell.
even play anymore.
I won't play anymore because I get too angry.
Where's the fun in that?
This is part of the problem. Is if you get angry or you get upset at your roommate, where do you go? You can't go home. There's nowhere to go in Ephraim.
It's true.
It's like you're just kind of trapped in this cage as you fight with each other.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned that the hard way. So, don't need to venture down that road again.
Oh, no, sir, no, sir.
But you're definitely right. I thought his situation was interesting. The guy won't get off the couch
Oh, yeah.
to leave him and his girlfriend to be.
Y'all have been very gracious, at least in my experience, as far as that goes. Whenever I want to spend some time alone with Brittany, I have no problem coming to an apartment that's fairly vacant and no one gets in the way or interrupts us. Usually.
Oh, we know.
What?
Oh, we know. We know you like to keep it secret.
Well, wouldn't
Private.
you?
Yeah.
I mean, usually we just go for a drive or something, but it's so cold out that it's just not really practical.
Very true. Okay, so yeah, I'll admit you guys have been the same way for me. But I feel like we can relate to the situation he has with the roommate who just kind of lounges around while you do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a couple experiences with a roommate who is, just kind of sits there. Not really sure what he does. He goes to class, I think. I'm never around to see him leave. He's just always kind of there,
Yes, yeah. He's taking a bowling class, I know that.
Yes. Good for him.
And I believe a science class, and I believe the rest are online, which is probably why we don't see
Yeah,
him.
that would explain why he's always hanging around. I couldn't do online classes, man.
No, I couldn't either. How are you supposed to meet people?
How are you supposed to meet those colorful fish in this vast ocean that we have here in Ephraim?
Yeah, because couch is going to be your only roommate eternally at that point.
The couch doesn't hurt you, at least.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, you would know better than anyone at this point. Oh, boy.
I think we should take it a break.
Yeah, okay.
But when we come back, we will have another guest on the show.
Radical. Looking forward to it. You're listening to 88.9 from the Cage. I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
This is the voice of the people.
You're listening to it on 88.9 FM The Cage.
You're listening to 88.9 FM The Cage. I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
And today we've got a very special treat for you. We're talking about roommates, and on the phone, who do we got?
We have a guest, Trevor Brimley, one of my good friends, currently attending Utah State. How are you, Trevor?
I'm good.
Good. We brought Trevor on because he's had some interesting roommate experiences himself, as we've been talking about roommates. Trevor, you attended Snow College. Can you kind of tell us what that was like? I believe that was the second time you were here.
Yes, it was my second semester at Utah State. And I had a roommate that was just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
All right, how so?
Well, he had zero hygiene abilities. He reeked so bad. In fact, you were there the one time he walked into our room, and we were playing some good Call of Duty, just having a good time, and he walked in, and I could not breathe. Like, it was so bad that I literally could not breathe.
Can you give our listeners a little bit of maybe a sense of what it smelled like?
It'd be like Indian food.
And dead fish?
And dead, like a raccoon bathed in, like, sewage.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. I was actually there the time you addressed the smell problem in the apartment.
Oh, jeez.
How did that end up going down?
Well, it didn't go down very well because I kind of lost it, and I just went off. And I was like, dude, you reek so bad. How is this even possible? And then I realized I was being really mean because you were laughing and everybody else was laughing.
But he wasn't laughing.
I asked him, I was like, do you need us to remind you to shower? Do you want us to buy you deodorant? Like, I'll do anything if you will just not smell this bad ever again.
Oh, I love it. I remember that moment, and it was awkward, but one of the funniest moments of my career here at Snow College. It's great.
Well, that was the same moment that we realized, like, that's when we brought up everything. Like, even when we thought he was peeing on the couch. You remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
What about the poop on the toilet seat? Or
poop on the
feces,
toilet
excuse
seat.
me.
That was so bad, but I actually ended up playing a lot of pranks on everybody else in the apartment because I would get, like, chocolate, rub it on there, like, dude, Shorty did it again, man. Shorty did it again.
I love it.
Ended up being beneficial.
Yeah.
And so,
well, sort of.
yeah. So, Trevor, how would you say is the best way to go about confronting your roommates about a problem you may have with them?
Oh, honestly, just actually bringing it up, because so many times everybody just beats around the bush.
Yeah.
You never address the problem, but, I mean, after we talked to Shorty, I'm not going to say the smells went away, but it did help a little bit.
That's true. If I remember right, it got so bad that the person that shared the room with him ended up moving his mattress into your room. Is that correct?
Yes, he would sleep on the floor in our room.
Oh, wow.
Pretty bad. Well, Trevor, you're a married man now. What is it like to have picked your eternal roommate?
Oh, man. It's nice knowing that I don't have to switch roommates, but it kind of sucks because I'm like, man, some of these things really suck and I can't switch anymore, but...
All right, dude.
Just kidding. Don't tell my wife.
I hope she's not listening.
No, it's awesome. Married life is awesome.
Do you ever miss, like, the shenanigans of having roommates?
Yeah, I would say I miss it a little bit, but the other sides of it kind of outweigh the shenanigans part, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. That's good.
Wow. Would you say that, actually, why don't you tell us some of the things that make it hard living with someone for eternity?
So there's just the whole factor of, like, food. That was a big one.
I thought she
Because-
gives you her food.
Sorry?
I thought she gives you her food.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is nice. That part rocks. But the parts of, like, when you go to the grocery store and you're like, man, let's have tacos tonight. And you realize your wife doesn't like tacos, but you grew up on tacos. And so your whole diet has to change depending upon what your spouse's likes and dislikes are, I guess.
Oh, my gosh. That's a whole new world
Yeah.
I don't look forward to discovering. But, Trevor, we thank you for coming on the air and discussing some of your roommate problems.
You're anytime, man, anytime.
All right, thank you, Trevor.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you around. Sweet.
That was Trevor Brimley
Trevor
from
Brimley.
Logan, Utah.
So, I thought it was interesting how having one roommate forever isn't necessarily better than
Than
spending a semester or two with bad roommates.
I was kind of looking forward to it, but then he kind of talked it down, and then it made me not really look forward to it.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
That's right. Well, we're going to take it to break,
Dishes.
but when we come back, we will discuss the Trevor Brimley interview.
Right on. You're listening to 88.9 FM, The KAGJ.
You're listening to the voice of the people.
This is KAGJ FM Ephraim.
And we're back here on the voice of the people. I'm Youngblood,
I'm Surly M.
and we have been discussing roommates.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just had an interview with a friend of yours, Mr. Trevor.
That's right, Trevor Brimley, all the way
And,
from Logan, Utah.
What'd you think about what he said?
Well, I like that Colten provided us with some positive feedback on the roommate situation,
Uh-huh.
but then we also had the negative context that I believe most of us can relate with. So I really liked it. Plus, I lived some of those experiences with him.
Yeah, you're a first-hand witness, it sounds
So
like.
that was fun. What did you think?
I think that his experiences are very relatable. That no matter how many good experiences you have with roommates, there's always just like that one. For some reason, everyone has that one. It's
There's
like,
one.
wow, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, the smell thing and the stuff on the toilet seat I can relate with.
I personally relate with.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed, at least in our place. It is like the smell has gradually gotten worse.
Yes. And it
And I'm probably a contributor to that, to be honest. I mean, that's just what happens when you get a lot of people into a small place. But I go to other people's places and they don't smell.
Yeah.
Ours always feels damp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels muggy in there.
It feels like damp. There's like a little micro weather cosm. I don't know what you call those. Like microclimate. Yeah. Like a greenhouse in there.
Yeah, it's just a little damp, a little muggy. You know, it's
Moist.
moist. Yeah, it doesn't smell awful, but it's getting there. It just always smells off. Something's off.
Oh, yeah.
And we have roommates who don't do the dishes, who don't clean the bathroom. So, this is. And I want you to know I'm saying this on the air because I have said this to their face. So they already know this if they're listening.
Yeah, they do. The dish situation has been a constant back and forth battle since the day we've arrived.
It has.
All of us, all guilty parties in not doing the dishes. I've been trying to stay consistent, you know what I mean? It's hard though. Granted, it's hard. It's a difficult thing to remember.
We don't have a dishwasher, so
We have no dishwasher. All has to be
Has to be
washed
done
and
by
dried
hand.
manually.
right. So not that that's any excuse, but just you got to be on top of it, or it loads up.
Yeah. And I had to take one for the team, buy some dish soap the other day.
What's up with the dish soap situation? I bought dish soap. You bought dish soap.
And now I had to buy it again
And then
because
you
we
bought
were
it.
out.
But there are 4 people, and now one person has bought dish soap twice.
But we do have a roommate that provides toilet paper, which
Okay.
is far more expensive than dish soap.
True, but that's also getting low too. Have you noticed that?
Oh no, what are we gonna do? I think
Another toilet paper fiasco.
comes down to what's a more valuable resource, right? Toilet paper or dish soap.
Well, I mean, toilet paper is probably the most important, but dish soap's pretty important.
Yeah, I agree. Looks like we'll have another situation to confront when we get out of toilet paper. Not looking forward to that.
You know, I have an experience of roommates from the first year I was here
Yeah?
that I'll go ahead and share, if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead.
My first year here at Snow College, I was 18. I roomed with a friend that shared the room with me,
Mm-hmm.
and the other 2 guys we didn't know going into it, so kind of like me and you situation.
Yeah.
They were both returned missionaries, so very religious, and they had pictures of Jesus all over the place, which
Right.
is, you know, I'm totally cool with that. I don't.
Jesus apartment.
Yeah. However, the first time I used the bathroom or showered, I noticed that there was a picture of Jesus in the shower.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking to myself, what in the world? So I decided to address this problem.
Because you thought it was strange, right?
Because I thought it was strange. I guess just ask about it. My roommate at the time was one for not getting confrontational with others. He hated any kind of conflict, so he let me do the talking, of course. And I asked this roommate. I said, you know, why is there a picture of Jesus in the shower? You know, I'm cool with it, but you know, why is there one in there? And can we just take it down? And he basically said it was none of my business and that it wasn't coming down.
Ooh, okay.
And so he wasn't very polite about it. I said, you know, well, it makes me uncomfortable. Is there any way, you know, just while you're here living with me that you could just take it down? I was like, I'm fine with Jesus in the shower. I mean, Jesus, but not Jesus in the shower.
Not Jesus in the shower. I'll take my Jesus elsewhere, thank you.
Right, exactly. And he said, well, it's a reminder that Jesus is always watching.
Okay.
And I said, well, you know, I know Jesus is always watching. I don't need that reminder. And then he said, quote, I don't know what's going on in there, so it's best that it's in there. And I said, well, I don't know what's going on in there with you, but it needs to come down. Anyway, after a lot of arguing, it came to a decision that Jesus could be in the shower when he was in there, and that I would just take it out when it was my turn, which is still a little bit ridiculous. But the worst part was that the picture itself didn't have any lamination or cover sheet over it, so
Really?
it just began to shrivel up from the moisture of the water.
So you had a shrivelly Jesus in the shower with you,
Yeah.
watching you.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So this is that was one of the weirdest experiences I had. I would when I'd bring friends over, I'd show it to them because they wouldn't believe me.
Well, do you think you'd be more okay with it if it was a picture of, like, I don't know, someone else, like Bob Ross or
No,
like Vladimir Putin?
you know, it just
or
feels weird. People are staring at you in there while you're
Like
showering.
a picture of Shrek or something.
No, it didn't really matter who it was. I don't. Yeah,
We should do that in our shower and see if the other roommates say anything. Just like as
picture
an
of Jesus?
experiment. Yeah.
They might already know this story though. Have I told it to them?
Maybe.
That would be interesting. We could try that.
just do another different random picture.
Little social experiment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be okay with that.
Right on. I'll get right on that.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you, I guess this is your, well, no, you had roommates in California.
I did.
Did you have any interesting experiences there?
Not necessarily what they would do as far as living with me goes. I just didn't like some of them personally. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, they were fine, treated me fine, most of the time. Unless I was a jerk to them first, which was most often the case. But like, they wouldn't be annoying with like the bathroom or the kitchen or anything that has to relate to like living with them.
Right.
But just like their personalities or like who they are as people just
Really irritated you.
irritated me.
Can you think of a quality that really got to you?
Quality, I had one roommate who was very passionate about comedy, just fine. But his form of comedy was very primitive in the sense that he really liked puns, just bad jokes, not dirty jokes, but bad jokes, like poorly written and executed jokes that were not funny. And he thought he was hilarious, and he was not. He was hilarious in kind of a sad way, like, oh no, look at the poor child who thinks he's funny. But yeah, that was a rough time.
That would get annoying after a while. If you have any thoughts on the experiences we've shared or on the phone interviews, or if you have your own roommate experiences you'd like to share, we encourage you to call us at 435-283-7007 and share with us. We also encourage you to text us. You can text KAGE to 66746. We also have a Facebook page. You can like us at The Voice of the People and make your comments.
Absolutely. You can also like the Cage, the radio station. We have a Facebook page. As well, you can stay up to date on all the sorts of specialty shows we have available here, all operated by student DJs, or just students just like you, doing what they want to do. I think it's really cool.
That's right.
But I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the sharing of food? Because everyone has a different policy about it.
I feel more okay. So like me and you, I don't mind if we share food
Because we're friends.
because we're friends.
Right.
I feel like we both evenly contribute to the food source. However, I do have a problem when like random people, roommates I don't know that well, start using it. Unless I said like, you can have some of this. But if you're just going ham on some leftovers I have on the fridge, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I've had that happen before. Not this year, but in previous years.
Yeah, that's not very cool.
No.
I feel pretty similar. I'm okay with sharing food generally in small quantities. I have a disgusting diet though, so most people don't want to eat my food.
I'm not touching your Campbell's soup.
My Campbell's soup, my Tyson chicken strips. Oh god. Anyway, but I am okay sharing food if permission is asked for. Like the other day, I had a roommate text me, and I was out of town, and he was here, and he asked if he could have one of my Cactus Coolers, one of my sodas. And you know how I feel about Cactus Coolers,
Of
right?
course.
Favorite soda, practically, next to root beer.
Right.
It's just, and I don't buy it often because I know I would get reliant on it, and it would just be a big hole in my bank account if I bought too much Cactus Cooler all the time.
But so, how did you respond to
So
this?
I buy it as a treat for myself, and he asked if he could have one, and I said yes, he could have one because he asked, and he knew it was important to me, and he knew it would be rude if he just took one without asking.
Right.
And so it was a demonstration of trust, It's like, yeah, you asked, so you can have one. And I mean, I was out of town, so I wasn't using them.
Right.
And he was there practically by himself, kind of felt bad for him. It's like, yeah, whatever, have a soda.
Yeah, and technically he could have taken it and you would have never known.
I would have never known.
Look at that sign of trust.
I think the big thing for me is, you already know this, but it's dishes, as far as like people using them.
Oh yeah, I know how you feel about
I'm
that.
very particular about my implements, my cooking tools. I'm okay with people using them as long as they're responsible and they get clean at the end of the day. And unfortunately, my trust has been betrayed more than once.
Hey, I've kept up on it.
I know, you always clean the dishes of mine that you use. However, I'll relate this one experience of last semester. We had a friend come over. She wanted to make French fries, right?
Oh, that's right. I remember this.
And which is fine. So you gotta boil some oil to fry those fries in, right?
Right.
So they used my pot, my personal pot that I use for cooking,
Right.
because it was the most suitable size for boiling oil in, right?
Right.
It was the only one that we possessed as an apartment.
Right.
So she's going ham, boiling this oil, and as happens when you don't watch something that's boiling, it boils over, spills on the stove, and burns onto my pot. This is part of the problem, why I have such trust issues with people using my things. Because when I have allowed them to be used, they get mistreated.
Yes. That pot to this day is still
It
never
still
been the same.
still has a scar from when the oil got burned onto it.
You know, to make a nerdy reference here.
And to be fair, she cleaned it up as best she could, and I was grateful for that. But it doesn't change the fact that I still have trust issues when it comes to people using my things.
To make a nerdy reference here, it's like Anakin Skywalker when he was burned
Yeah,
in the lava,
the lava of Mustafar.
the Mustafar planet, and he just never looked the same after that. You know,
It got
And
changed into Darth Vader.
and to cover that up, you know, that's kind of what your pot looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a mid third degree burning Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, didn't it go all over the floor, the oil and everything?
It got onto the stove, and my dish towels were hanging on the little stove handle rack
that's
thing.
right.
Got all over the towels. The towels were never the same. I actually had to throw them away because no matter how many times I washed them, they still felt greasy. So yeah,
But
and those ended up getting replaced as well. So all is well and good.
didn't she break your plate too?
Yeah, she broke my plate. Which happens, you know, that's to be expected. And the plate got replaced. And so,
Which I like the new plate better.
really?
The light blue one, yeah.
That's fine.
I feel like, it kinda
Like I
keeps the
said.
food more in.
It's okay if people use it as long as they ask and they take care of it.
Well, you know, sharing is can be a difficult thing for people. So you're nice enough to even let
Okay,
them.
here's a hot topic.
Okay, go for it.
Cleaning is a responsibility that should be shared by all the roommates. Do you
Of
agree?
course.
You're all paying the same amount to live there. You're all using it at least relatively the same amount, so you should all contribute to the cleanliness of the place. What's the best way to enforce cleaning rules, do you think? Because we've tried rotations, like you clean kitchen this day, I clean bathroom this day. That didn't work out.
That didn't work because
Some people like chore charts or like task charts.
that was my next option. Is what I was thinking of doing.
Do you
but-
think that would work?
I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in that area. I've never done it before. My dad did it when he was in college, and it worked. But
Did you ask him?
But he roomed with his friends. Like it was
Uh-huh.
like, you know, it's me and you, but he was friends with the other guys too, and I think they all had an understanding of how they wanted the apartment to be.
And I don't want it to seem like we're not friends with our other roommates. They're
No,
fine,
no.
fine gentlemen, to be
No,
sure.
yeah, no, we're friends with them. What I mean is like they were all like already tight knit before they came to college.
Right.
I don't. What else? Yeah, we haven't tried that. What else could we?
Because something needs to be done. The cleaning does not get done. I've slacked off, even though I'm the most zealous cleaner in the apartment.
Okay, you know, you're getting a little prideful over there, and I found a lot of
This-
your dishes in the sink.
Okay. This fact cannot be argued. I have cleaned that apartment the most.
All right, fair enough.
It cannot be argued. That's a verifiable fact.
Okay.
And I've slacked off recently because I get discouraged when no one else contributes. I'm like the mom that's like, I'm tired. cleaning this house.
Well, the thing is, you shouldn't have to clean it all. It should be a
Right. And
combined effort.
it should be communal effort. But that's not happening.
I guess where I have a problem is I feel like I'm pretty good about cleaning up my own stuff, like tidying up my own things. But like I don't have any desire to clean up anyone else's stuff, and I just let it be dirty because I'm like, I'm not touching that. That's not my stuff.
Right.
But then it just gets grosser because they don't do anything about it.
Yeah, and we all suffer for it.
Right, exactly. So, there's that. You gotta take that into account too. But, maybe we should try the chore chart.
Chore chart? All right. You write up the chore chart.
I don't feel like it's gonna be well received, though.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Oh, man.
Remember, as a Christmas gift to everybody, I cleaned the devil out of our bathroom.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, listeners, Surly M even unscrewed the toilet lid and bleached it.
I took off the seat of the toilet, cleaned that toilet like it's never been cleaned. Cleaned the seat.
The seat, sorry, not the lid, the seat.
And the lid, for that matter.
Right. That was amazing.
And that, I was really proud of that, actually. I cleaned the floor, mopped the floors, even around those gross floorboards that are peeling up.
Yep.
And you notice how in the shower, like in the cracks and crevices, there'd be like hair and mold in there?
Yeah.
Now there's not anymore, because I cleaned it once. That's all it took.
Didn't you also unclog the drain? There was a draining problem.
Yeah, that was just a minor fix. That was the other week, too. I just bought some Drano, poured it down
and it worked.
down the tub and down the sink. That sink has been having problems for a while, though. Maybe it's...
Which one? The one in the bathroom?
Well, yeah, the one in the bathroom.
Okay, yeah. I don't use that one, so...
Yeah, you don't use that one as much. But, yeah,
Whose hand soap is under the sink in the bathroom?
I bought that because we ran out.
The big container.
What?
Because... Well, I'm not surprised that you bought it. I just was hoping maybe someone else contributed, but...
No,
Nope.
no, that was me. We ran out of hand soap, and I was not going to have dirty hands after using the bathroom. From like a sanitary standpoint, no, not happening. So I bought the hand soap.
Okay. You know what and the roommates already know I got beat with this.
Do you know where the toilet brush went?
You mean the scrub inside the toilet?
Yeah. Where'd it go?
Has it gone missing?
It's gone. It's not in its usual place, and I looked around and I can't find it.
Yeah, maybe we need to hold a council.
Because I bought that. Along with every other cleaning supply in that apartment. I bought it with my own money. And somebody moved it.
You know what I have an issue with, and they already know this. Okay, that's great that you want to go to Little Caesars and grab pizza out of the dumpster at 10 o'clock. I totally get that. I want free pizza too. But, grab 2, maybe 3 boxes to support yourself. You don't need 10 or 20 and stick them all in the fridge, because then everything else smells like Little Caesars pizza.
That was actually that's a real life instance Youngblood just relayed to you. Best kept secret in Ephraim is if you know the place to go at the right time, you can get some free pizza. And one of our roommates recovered much more than our fridge could handle.
I mean, it was all over
at least 8 boxes of pizza and
at least
like 9 bags of crazy bread and garlic bread. It was a lot.
And they were done some deep dish pizza too.
Yeah.
And I totally understand. This is college. Food's hard to come by, but we don't need that much pizza. We do not need that much pizza.
To be fair, he ate that pizza practically breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now it's almost gone.
Oh yeah, that person. But then there's 5 more boxes for the other person. So why can't we all
it's
share?
almost gone now. After like 3 days.
Okay, well it still smells like pizza in there. Little Caesars pizza. Old Little Caesars pizza.
So now we've got the damp Little Caesars.
As if it already didn't stink in there. Now we've thrown that little scent into the mix.
How are we gonna fix this problem, Youngblood? We've complained a lot. A lot of things bother us. How are we gonna have a better attitude and maybe address some of these problems?
Well, we've held councils. That seems to last temporarily, maybe a couple days.
Yeah,
at best. I've kind of given up. at this point. I'm trying to keep my own stuff clean, fend for myself, occasionally watch out for you, and then that's about it. That's all I know how to do right now. Where are you at?
I don't know. I really don't know. I would love to get some advice, though, so if you have something to say, how we can best mitigate our roommate problems, give us a call, 435-283-7007, or text KAGE to 66746 and let us know what you think.
That's right. We're going to go ahead and take it a break, but when we come back, we will wrap things up and talk about what we've learned today. You're listening to The Voice of the People
on 88.9 FM, The Cage. And we're back here on 88.9 FM The Cage. This is The Voice of the People. I'm your host with the most, Surly M.
And I'm Youngblood. That's it? That was a weird introduction.
Oh, come on, man. You're supposed to say, and I'm the beast from the east, Youngblood.
What is that from?
I don't know. I just heard it somewhere. It's really cool.
Okay, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. Today, we've been talking about roommates, the positive and negative effects. And I feel like most people can relate with the negative.
Yeah.
That's a concise conclusion.
Yep. I swear, every other time I talk to someone, I'm like, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, man, my roommates. And they tell me some ridiculous story involving their roommates and how awful they are.
You know, the crap that people come up with to... I mean, I know they don't personally mean to torment their roommates, but, man, some rough stuff.
Yeah, some of it's irrational, granted. Some of it is petty. But, genuinely, it can be hard to live with people sometimes.
Yeah, very true. Okay, what can you, let's kind of recap, actually.
Okay.
So we had Colten Yager on. He discussed some of his good, positive influences.
Oh, yeah, he freaking loves having roommates, apparently.
Yeah, apparently that's been really good for him. Although he is from Podunk nowhere, so that can contribute to it, having civilization around. Probably very nice.
His only prior roommates being cattle.
Exactly. And then we interviewed Trevor Brimley.
Yes.
And he kind of gave us a different take on roommates. Before he was married, he had a roommate who had a hygiene issue.
Yeah.
And that is... I do remember reliving that, and that was very, very unpleasant. Don't want to relive that again.
And we resolved that we're going to try putting a picture in the shower.
Yes.
See if that helps.
Which will be our social experiment.
Yes. See what happens.
And what else? We've discussed our roommate situation.
We did.
And, nothing we haven't said to their face hasn't been said on the air. So
they're good gentlemen, though, and I like what
they are. They are
we
good
have some
people.
fun times.
We do. We've had some good times. Surly, what have you learned today?
I learned that the best way to meet ladies is to go country dancing at BYU, Idaho, apparently.
Oh, that's very true. Very true. Today, I've learned that we're not the only people who've experienced things on the toilet seat.
Thankfully.
From our roommates.
Thankfully. Because if that was the case, I'd be really worried.
I know. If you have any more feedback before we end the show, you can go ahead and give us a call at 435-283-7007, or you can text us. You can text KAGE to 66746.
Right on. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have for the good people of Snow College.
That is. We appreciate you listening. We know we just ramble for 2 hours, but we appreciate the listener involvement.
Right on. And if you're just tuning in and you missed the episode and want to hear more of our opinions on roommates, never fear. You can head on over to our Facebook page under The Voice of the People. And pretty much the same day or a day later, the episodes are uploaded to YouTube. So you can listen at least to the vocal portions, the talk portions rather.
That's right.
Via YouTube. just the audio. And
It's been a hit. We've had more listeners that way.
yeah, and you can go back and revisit some of your favorite Voice of the People moments. We have a backlog of a couple episodes, so you can enjoy those at your leisure. But we'll definitely be back next week at the usual time slot, starting at noon to 2. This is the Voice of the People. I'm Sir Liam.
And I'm Youngblood.
Thanks for listening.
You're listening to 88.9 The Cage.